What's up, people? Welcome back to the MCPC show, the most exciting show in the whole wide world. And we are right here at Afro Vibes Radio Houston, the best radio station in the whole wide world. All right, like I said before, you can listen to us anytime, anywhere, in your bedroom, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the classroom, in the other room. Go ahead and just download that app right now on your Android phone, on your iOS, and listen to the best radio, in the whole wide world. All right, so this week we promise you, like I promised you last week, to feature one of the best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear a voice that will change your life, that will change your career. All right, we're gonna pay some bills. Don't go anywhere. After the short break, I will unveil my special guest of the week. All right, stay right there. My name is MCPC. I'll be right back.
Your favorite radio station. This is Afro Vibes Radio Houston.
All right, welcome back. You're still on to the MCPC show right here on Afro Vibes Radio. We broadcast, in Houston, and we have coverage in all over the world, 120 countries in the world. But on today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce you to the first female guest on this show. She was born in Nigeria, Niger to the world. She was brought up in London, England, and in your bunk, in it. She was brought up and she studied in England, and she moved out to America a couple of years ago. She lived in LA before. Now she lives in Houston. She is a singer and a songwriter. She started singing right from her mother's womb. We're going to find out how she made that possible. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome the amazing, the talented, the beautiful, the gorgeous, a blessed child of one father somewhere in Africa.
Yes.
Please, a round of applause for MYOA.
Oh my God. That's like the best introduction / funniest introduction.
Your husband will pay me for this introduction when he comes.
Yes.
MYOA, good to have you in the studio with us.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're
Shout
welcome.
out to Afro Vibes and shout out to MCPC.
In it.
Yeah, in it. Your daughter's from England.
Yeah. You can't even believe the day England will play. I don't want England.
I saw it.
I'm like,
story.
oh, I have to support England. Like, hey, which England? So Dad was born in England. I'm like, hey, I pay the bill. Whoever you support, you say no, Dad. I can support whoever I want to support. So it's good. So how have you been?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy. I've been in a good place.
Right.
Lately, so,
Right. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
All right. So MYOA, yours is MYOA.
That's
I
the stage name.
I hope that is happy with that name, because Yoruba that don't joke with the real.
I know.
Yeah, MYOA.
He's fine because he knows I took it from my real name, which is MAYOWA. So
right.
Sometimes he'll text me and he'll put MYOA if he's trying to be in the artist mode.
Right.
So he gets it. Oh, that's cool.
Does it actually test it out?
Yeah. Sometimes he'll text that MYOA.
That is trying to be like cool. You want to be long. Yeah. I don't want to be long. You refuse to be old. All right, so MYOA, tell us. I'm sure my wonderful listeners will want to find out who your journey so far as a young woman, born in Nigeria, lived in England and studied in England, and now you live in America. Can you take us through in brief sentences on how this whole thing started? Tell us about who you are.
First of all, God dropped me from heaven. No, I'm kidding. So my name is MYOA. I'm Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria. I grew up in England. Now in the States, like you said. Apart from being a singer-songwriter, I'm the first child of 3 beautiful children.
So you receive all the beatings.
Well,
ahead of all the younger ones. The discipline was more on you.
I guess I was like the first. Is it the ship or what they call them?
You receive all the initial discipline.
And then they had to okay, she's gone through this, and we know what to do, what not to do.
Right.
But so that's it really. And obviously, like you said, I'm a singer-songwriter. But it just didn't start like that. I mean, I've been singing since I was young, but I went to school. When I say school, I went through formal education. in finance, accounting and finance.
Oh,
And
nice.
I did study also. I also have an associate degree in music, by the
Okay.
way. But that was like my first in finance.
But your first degree is in finance.
Yeah.
So we have a lot in common.
Yeah, we
First
do
degree.
have a lot in common. Yeah. So I did that accounting.
And what I'm
finance,
stingy.
and
People
I
say I'm
got-
stingy. I don't spend.
Yeah.
Accounting.
I think we know how to handle it because
Yeah.
I have my master's in business, so I'm like I really do use all of that in my music. Like it helps me
How
stay
to manage
organized.
your budget.
Yeah, you
know?
have to
Yeah.
because you know how this thing
Yeah,
works. It's
exactly.
not that easy.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it really. And then
What's your first name is MYOA?
yes,
And your
Oluwa
last-
Maiwa.
Oluwa MYOA. What does that mean?
God brings joy.
Hey, God. Okay, man. God has brought joy to Afro Vibes today, right?
Yeah, that's what it means. So
Okay, and your last name?
Shoba Mowo.
Shoba. Say like a Yoruba girl.
That's how I'm saying it. There's a silent H there.
Okay.
Shoba Mowo.
You sure if that?
But
Yeah,
it's
that's gonna be happy with the way you pronounce
You'll
it.
be alright.
You sure? No, that would be alright. It will be alright. Don't use
I'm
American.
not juicing it up. That's the best. way I
Don't
can
use
say it,
American
though.
slash English as a
Shoba Mowo.
And what does that
Can
mean?
you repeat? Can you even say it?
Say it again.
See.
Say it again. Say it again.
Shoba Mowo.
Shoba Mowo. Kilo de more
Mowo.
You know Yoruba you have to do kilo That's how you need to do Yoruba. Yoruba language you don't have to know. All you need to do just have the swap kilo kilo What is the meaning of
Don't ask me. I don't know what that last name means. Please.
Okay, now
Let me call my dad.
Yeah, can somebody help my what's the
Please, if
meaning?
anyone knows what my last name, my correct last name means, let me know because it's going to change.
Right. Yeah, the venture,
No,
but
it
you need
has
to
to.
know what that.
But I really need to know. I mean, it's not very common, but I reckon it's like, I mean, I come from a royal family. Both my
Awesome.
parents come from royal blood, so
Okay.
I reckon it has something to do with that.
Okay, so born in Nigeria, what age did you live for England?
Officially, I mean, what is official? Probably around 13
Oh, wow.
or even, it was before that, but I would just say officially, like, possibly like.
So you're probably just going and coming
Yeah,
back
I was
then
doing that,
before you guys
yeah.
were relocated. So your
Yeah.
secondary school, like we call it, part of your primary school was
Yes.
in Nigeria then. Majority
Yeah,
of
I'm
your
trying to calculate my age. Like,
yeah,
what's this?
I'll find out what it means. I'm an accountant like you, so we know we're very good with figures. Before you
I'm
leave
like,
now,
oh, this
before you leave this studio, I will tell the audience your age,
Basically.
and all of the age will give
Basically,
you.
I'm here now. It's
I'll give you
2018.
$1,000 for every of your years. How about that? You said
Can
that
we
you're-
talk about this off air?
Nah.
What
All right.
matters now is that I'm here.
I know. Okay, so you moved to England and your first degree in accounting. Well, at what point did you realize that, this is music is what you want to do?
Do you know what? I think it first happened when I was 9. Because this was when I was still in Nigeria. My music teacher, who's no longer with us, he's passed away with me, he's so rest in peace.
I'm sorry.
He was already like, I was already taking piano lessons and writing, and one day I had written a song and I was like, I really think this song is something. So I went to meet him secretly and I was like, I have a song but I'm so shy. And he was like, let me hear it. So he heard it and he was like, this is great, I need to teach it to the school assembly. It was from that moment when he believed in me. Of course my parents did too, but when he did and he heard my song and he played it, and people didn't even know it was me.
Oh,
and
wow.
at the end he was like, oh, they wrote
So they sang the song in your school?
yes, they sang it, and I was like, whoa. So
What a feeling.
from that minute, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
So you already became a star, while you were in school.
I don't know if that, but yeah, I
know.
guess so, something, yeah. But I mean, I had to go through normal education, and even when I was in England, still doing everything I had to do, it's been on the back of my mind. And I remember in 2007, I was like, I had a good job,
Right.
everything. I was like, I really want to explore like this music thing, take it to the next level. So
Right.
I pray though, you know how we do. We
Yeah,
pray.
you have to, you can't do without God in
You
Africa.
can't.
The
Wherever you
Lord
are,
have to
yeah.
lead you.
The
If you
Lord has
lead
to
yourself,
lead
you're on your own.
That's what happened.
You
Basically.
can't lead yourself.
And I told my parents, and they're like, okay, no worries. I said, I'm going to America.
On your own.
On my own. Quit my job,
Right.
3,000 miles, and it was when I made that decision I knew it was serious.
Right. So when you landed
Like-
where? Which states?
I went straight to
City?
Los Angeles, so I was there like end of 2007, like October. Went straight to school, so I actually went to study vocal performance and production.
Oh wow.
So I got an associate degree and I went to Hollywood, packed my bags. I'm in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Where
you can be popular.
It was popular.
Or de popular. Yeah.
Hollywood smells like.
I don't know why.
I had tasers, I had pepper spray. Like I'll be there taking looking like nice picture, and at the end of it, I'm like, scared a little bit.
Always like that. And whenever I go there, I'm like, what is it?
You're like, what is there?
But the volume of money in that place.
Ooh, yes,
my
but it's
brother,
got potential.
with the money, I will stay there. I
Yeah.
don't care how smelly, how old the house is. Because, I mean, like the houses we have in Houston, they're very cute and nice.
Yeah.
Houston is still pretty nice and cute. But over there,
Oh yeah,
whenever I go
it's
there,
not-
what did
it's
they-
expensive too.
like Mexico,
But it's got like potential.
a
massive
lot of potential.
and that's really where it started, you know.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so so your first degree was in finance.
Yes,
You worked as a financial person, I guess.
yes, I did. Yeah.
Then you realized that, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to go into music,
Mhm.
and you took the time
I did.
to educate yourself in a field that you're interested in.
Yeah.
All right. So
I
does
like
that
the way you
mean?
put it.
Yeah. Does that mean that if you had not had a formal or another semi-formal education in music, you wouldn't have been as good as you are today? What impact did that?
Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
question.
What impact did that make? Did that make in your music career today?
I think it goes two ways.
Mhm.
First of all, I like to learn. I'm one of those. I think maybe because Nigerian parents like learn
Right.
accounting, but I wanted to learn like the things behind it, like what makes you a band leader. You know what?
Mhm.
How do you learn beat production? You can learn on your own, but I'm like one of those that I just want to see a little further. So it was because of that. It doesn't mean I would not be better, but to be honest, going to school
Mhm.
has made me more structured, made me believe that there is a way out there, and it doesn't mean that if I didn't go I would not be better, but
Right.
for me personally, I know going there because I had to train myself, get in front of audiences.
Right.
If I'd done it on my own I would have been
Yeah,
scared.
I can
you know,
imagine.
I had to learn how to read music, play the guitar, you know, better.
You have to learn how to
so
sing to
certain
key.
things to key,
Not just
yeah.
singing
There's
anyhow.
people
Then
that are out there,
the
exactly.
keyboardist have to find your key. Just
You're
keep
like,
singing. Just keep singing. We'll
keep
find the
sing-
key.
we'll find-
We'll find it. Just keep going. And
That is so true.
I'm not finding my dear. Keep singing.
That is too funny,
I'm tired of
yeah.
singing. I have not found the padlock. I mean,
Oh my
the
God,
key.
the key.
Okay.
That, but you know what? That's the truth. I think for me, formal education in music
Right.
only gave me the needed push that I needed. You know, that attitude to be able to go for it and learn other things that I would not have done on my own. So
Right.
I learned so much at school, man. I
Awesome.
did.
All right. So, distinguished listener out there in the world, if you are just tuning in, you are on to the MCPC show, and I have a special guest, born in Nigeria, studied, raised in the UK, and now live in America. She's a singer and a songwriter. She's very beautiful. If you can see it, those of us that can watch on TV. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot to learn from this young woman because she's making Africa, Nigeria proud, even at this during the World Cup. I understand she's supposed to be in Russia right now to sing one of the songs, but anything can still happen before the end
Yes,
of the World
anything
Cup.
can happen.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, music break. We're going to listen to one of her songs, and this one is titled Ololufemi. Can you tell me a little, what is that song all
Yeah,
about?
Ololufemi
before we-
means my love. It's basically, it was just like, I like to write stories. So I was just like, you know, you meet someone unexpectedly, maybe
Right.
at a place, and then you just realize that they are your love. And it's kind of like a prayer of love, saying that, you know, you want this person to be your life forever, and you're just expressing your love. So
Was that particular song directed to somebody or to God?
No,
Or-
it wasn't to God. It wasn't to anybody.
So anybody can just take it?
Anyone can take it. Anyone can relate to it. I mean,
So I can
maybe
take it now?
You can take it.
Okay. I'm taking it. You know, we like
But it's
Africans,
like
we
an
like to take
expression
things.
of love. That's really what that song meant for me. I wanted to see what love meant, and
Okay.
I expressed it through.
All right, so listen to this song titled Ololufemi by MYOA. We'll be right back after this short minute.
Your favorite radio station. This is Afro Vibes Radio Houston.
Welcome back to the MCPC show right here on Afro Vibes Radio. We are broadcasting live from Houston, and you can listen to us from anywhere in the world. Just go ahead and tell your friends about this radio station. Download the app on your Android or your iOS. Okay, listener, if you're still with me, I still have here in the studio the talented, the beautiful, the gorgeous MYOA. All right, so MYOA, you moved to LA, you studied in LA, and you found out, okay, this is what you want to do. How did LA receive your kind of music? By the way, how do I describe your kind of music?
I call it like soul pop jazz.
Soul pop jazz.
Yeah, soul pop jazz. It's like
Hey.
my. If you like,
So
check
we
out
call
my
it mixture.
Instagram hashtag
Yeah.
soul pop jazz. Yeah, it's soul pop jazz. So it's like a mixture of soulful music that comes from the soul. It's pop because, you know, it has the element of fun to
Right.
it, and then jazz just because I love jazz and it's different. And I think they received it well. To be honest, like everywhere I've gone, people say your music is different, but I think I really sing from a personal place but still universal.
Right.
And because I love to perform, people see the story of my song through my performance, and then they're able to just get it going. So that's what it is, and it's been wonderful, and everyone's been accepting it, and I'm thankful.
All right, I think what you should do is, as a Yoruba girl, traditionally, you should do sopo ja fuji, which is Fuji. Add a little bit of Fuji to it.
I know, right?
That'll be a combo, right? Sopo ja fuji. Oh Lord, and put some gang into it. Exactly. So you can represent your tribe. Anyway, so earlier quite received your music very well. At what point did you decide to come to Houston? And why did you decide to come to Houston?
First of all, when I graduated from school, I already had a band going. I performed at the school graduation. I thought, okay, this is great, but then I felt like LA was getting saturated, so I was like, I need to go somewhere else. So ended up going to Vegas, had some opportunities there, played the House of Blues, Strong Hotels, and a few other venues, Hard Rock. So I was in Vegas for like, I think, a year and a half. And then I was like, okay, this is fun, I'm doing covers, but I really want to start creating a market. And then there was an opportunity to come out here in Houston, also because of a job, because by then I was like, I need to pay my bills. So
this music thing is not bringing plenty money right now, yeah.
But I was still doing music, and then Houston became that, and I was like, wow, this is, and everyone was like, oh, you can't really make it in Houston, it's going to be different, you're different, like you're female, and then you're like, you know, first of all, think automatically I'm R&B, but I'm not. You know? And so because of that, I just created my niche here, and it's been wonderful. I met people like you.
Thank
you know,
Jesus.
It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so you made mention of you being female.
Yes.
And as a musician, what has there been any kind of challenges you face as a female musician in the African community?
In the African community, I think naturally, even if you look back home in Nigeria, there are more male artists there, and I don't know what it is. Not that females are not as good, we're great, we're just as great. I think it's just a little bit more challenging because maybe they just think there's certain way a woman should act or sing, and so there's not really out there. So for me personally, I've not really had bad challenges. I've had situations maybe when there's you know, if you have to have a show, maybe there's like 5 guys before they even consider like, oh yeah, we want a female. So that's probably one of the things that
you're not far from the truth. Because I remember the last time I produced the Mother's Day comedy show. A Mother's Day comedy show, I did not have a female on my lineup. So it was like a couple of weeks before the show, I'm like, MCPC, what's wrong with you? You're doing a Mother's Day show on the Mother's Day for mothers and others.
And there's no female.
And there's no female. So I have to like, real quick call the female to be on it. That does not mean that, female artists are being looked down upon, but I don't know what do you think.
I'm not sure what it is. I think personally, it's just like in most things, to be honest, not just with music or comedy. There's a lot of things that men usually tend to do because it started with the tradition of man has to provide first. I think that's what started it. But now, the modern world, like women are doing things just as much. But maybe it's the case that there were already men in the market before. So now it's just a case of the women trying to come through and break through. Like, we can do just as great. So a lot of women are doing their things too now, so I'm happy about that.
All right. So for the young ones that are coming up, young female artists, whether comedians or actresses or musicians, what advice will you have to give to them? Just to be able to break out.
You have to do it. You have to start somewhere. I know people get scared. Oh, I don't know. Am I good? And I usually tell people, don't ask your family first. Your family, if they love you, they'll say you're good, and you might not be that good in that certain area. But don't.
Same thing in comedy. All right. As a comedian, when you write jokes, don't ask your friends or ask your sister.
I mean, you can ask them
they'll say no, your family. They say, oh, it's funny, and you go to the stage. Oh God. If I ask your enemies who don't like you, say, my brother, how far is it?
I think be real, reach out to people and then figure out what it is that you like to do. And for instance, if you like doing music and you're like, oh, I don't know how to sing, well, maybe you know how to write, or maybe you like beats and you can produce. So I think start from somewhere, find people that you emulate, and don't give up. It's going to be hard, but you have to try. You have to do it.
Okay, so how do you get yourself motivated?
To me, I get motivated through life. When, to be honest, I know it's gonna sound really cliche, but when I'm going through like the darkest moment, when I say dark, not like I'm about just like moments where I'm thinking, I'm trying to analyze. Those things motivate me, and I come from a home where I grew up with God, so I like to pray. And I used to be very closed up where I wouldn't talk about certain things, but now I've realized I have very few close people in my life. So I speak to them about things that I'm going through, and when I get their answers or situations, those things like motivate me to keep going. And when I see little bits of success, that motivates you because you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting that. I can keep going.
Okay.
So, and I know what the end goal is. I see the end goal, so I
Right.
have to just keep going, and that's kind of what
So
motivates
that's
me.
your
I
goal.
already see the end
So
goal.
your goal that you set ahead of you kind of motivates you
Yes.
to achieve it,
Because I haven't reached it
which
yet.
is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. All right, so I'm going to ask you a question right now.
Okay.
Since you're in the music industry,
Yeah.
between Tupac and Biggie, what do you
Gosh.
think? What do you think was a bigger legend to you?
But that's not even a hard question for me because I grew up listening to Tupac. I like Tupac, so it's not that one was better than the other. It's just that I felt more connected.
Yeah, the
to
one
that.
you feel. Yeah. Okay.
But Biggie. I mean, he has some cool songs, but I really connected to Tupac.
All right, first time on
I think you're
stage.
gonna ask me like Sonia Day and then.
Nah, you even know some
And
idea.
Obey.
Do you know Obey? You left Nigeria at the age of 9.
My parents, I think we had an Obey record.
Oh, you have to. And every Nigerian home, most Nigerian homes, just from the Yoruba, you have to have Obey and the Beninza. Just from the Igbo side, you have to have what do you call it, Osita Sadebe and all of that, you know. And someone like me from the Niger Delta area, we have, you know, the Victor Wifo and the rest. So, and I actually grew up in country music. I don't know how my woman
You told me that.
I told you.
Yeah.
I grew up in country music.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, my dad, I don't know, grew up in country music and Cameroon and Calypso and Makossa. My dad seems to like Makossa and Calypso, but mostly country music. The cool evening, you know, African parents when they're back
I
from
think country music is like very
relax.
soulful.
Yeah. So the cool evening when it's relaxing, you know, when he's drinking his palm wine.
Okay. That's what you can ask him for anything.
Yeah, you have to be very calculative if you have to ask your African father for something. Among all of us in the house, I'm the one who know the trick. My younger brother will always go and ask my dad when he's just coming back from somewhere. That's the wrong time to ask him. Or you ask him when he's about to eat.
Let him finish that food.
Don't.
Yeah.
But for me, I will wait. They will come and ask when he's just coming in.
Yeah.
No, we'll talk about it later. Can catch you some, just come back in. Huh? Don't respect. Then when he's eating, me and my younger one will go say, Dad, can't you see I'm eating?
I'm eating,
Let me finish eating. But for me, I will just wait for him to finish eating.
Yeah.
As soon as I sees my dad do something like this.
Like relaxing.
Yes. And he put his toothpick in his mouth. I said, yes. You don't enter. I'll just say, Dad, have fun now. Say you.
I think that works with women to men too.
Right.
That's
You know what to ask for money.
No, it doesn't have to be money. You have to know when to like get it right.
Exactly. So I mean, timing is right.
Yeah, timing is
very right. All right. What was your first time on a professional stage, and how was it? How was your experience?
Like to be honest, I had my first time on a professional stage was in a choir group setting that was in Nigeria. I was really young there. We had a choir thing, but for me personally, would be in Los Angeles during our graduation. I performed at the theatre at the graduation. It had like 1,500 people. Stanley Clarke was there, and it was amazing. And you know, I was with my band there in LA, and that was like my first, I would say, proper like my MYOA doing her thing. Yeah.
Right. And how was it?
It was amazing.
Yeah, because you know, I was
already doing original.
Remember when I played your song in the assembly ground in school?
Oh my God. But it's taken a while because before that big stage, I've been doing small little cafes in Los Angeles, but that was like a big
first professional one
stage with lights,
and I'm sure you killed it.
People.
I'm sure you killed
Apparently we did. Yeah.
Okay. Music break.
Your favorite radio station. This is Afro Vibes Radio Houston.
Alright, so distinguished listener out there in the world, if you are just tuning in, you are on to the MCPC show, and I have a special guest, born in Nigeria, studied, raised in the UK, and now live in America. She's a singer and a songwriter. She's very beautiful, if you can see it. Those of us that can watch on TV. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot to learn from this young woman because she's making Africa, Nigeria proud, even at this during the World Cup. I understand she's supposed to be in Russia right now to sing one of the songs, but anything can still happen before the end of the World Cup.
Anything can happen.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, a music break. We're going to listen to one of her songs, and this one is titled Ololufemi. Can you tell me a little, what is that song all about?
Ololufemi means my love. It's basically, it was just like, I like to write stories, so just like, you know, you meet someone unexpectedly, maybe at a place, and then you just realize that they are your love, and it's like, it's kind of like a prayer of love, saying that, you know, you want this person to be your life forever, and you're just expressing your love. So
Was that particular song directed to somebody or to God?
No,
or?
it wasn't to God. It wasn't to anybody.
So anybody can just take it.
Anyone can take it. Anyone can relate to it. I mean,
So I can take it now.
You can take it.
Okay. I'm taking it. You know,
but it's like an expression of love. That's really what that song meant for me. I wanted to see what love meant. And I expressed it through.
All right, so listen to this song titled Ololufemi by MYOA. We'll be right back after this short music break. Stay right there.
Your favorite radio station. This is Afro Vibes Radio Houston.
Welcome back to the MCPC show right here on Afro Vibes Radio. We are broadcasting live from Houston, and you can listen to us from anywhere in the world. Just go ahead and tell your friends about this radio station. Download the app on your Android or your iOS. Okay, listener, if you're still with me, I still have here in the studio the talented, the beautiful, the gorgeous MYOA. All right, so MYOA, you moved to LA, you studied in LA, and you found out, okay, this is what you want to do. How did LA receive your kind of music? By the way, how do I describe your kind of music?
I call it like soul pop jazz.
Soul pop jazz.
Yeah, soul pop jazz. It's like my. If you like, check out my Instagram hashtag soul pop jazz. Yeah, it's soul pop jazz. So it's like a mixture of soulful music that comes from the soul. It's pop because it has the element of fun to it, and then jazz just because I love jazz and it's different. And I think they received it well. To be honest, like everywhere I've gone, people say your music is different, but I think I really sing from a personal place but still universal.
Right.
And because I love to perform, people see the story of my song through my performance, and they're able to just get it going. So that's what it is, and it's been wonderful, and everyone's been accepting it, and I'm thankful.
All right, I think what you should do is, as a Yoruba girl, traditionally, you should do soap pop ja Fuji, which is Fuji. Add a little bit of Fuji to it.
I know, right?
That'll be a combo, right? Soap pop ja Fuji. Oh Lord. And put some gang into it. Exactly. So you can represent your tribe. Anyway, so LA quite received your music very well. At what point did you decide to come to Houston? And why did you decide to come to Houston?
First of all, when I graduated from school, I already had a band going. I performed at the school graduation. I thought, okay, this is great. But then I felt like LA was getting saturated, so I was like, I need to go somewhere else. So ended up going to Vegas, had some opportunities there. Played the House of Blues, Strong Hotel, and a few other venues, Hard Rock. So I was in Vegas for like I think a year and a half. And then I was like, okay, this is fun. I'm doing covers, but I really want to start creating a market. And then there was an opportunity to come out here in Houston, also because of the job. Because by then I was like, I need to pay my bills. So
this music thing is not bringing plenty money right now. Yeah.
But I was still doing music, and then Houston became that, and I was like, wow, this is. And everyone was like, oh, you can't really make it in Houston. It's going to be different. You're different, like you're
kind of
female, and then you're like, first of all, think automatically I'm R&B, but I'm not. You know? And so because of that, I just created my niche here, and it's been wonderful. I met people like you. It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so you made mention of you being female.
Yes.
And as a musician, what has there been any kind of challenges you face as a female musician in the African community?
In the African community, I think naturally, even if you look back home in Nigeria, there are more male artists there, and I don't know what it is. Not that females are not as good.
Right.
We're great. We're just as great. I think it's just a little bit more challenging because maybe they just think there's certain way a woman should act or sing, and so there's not really out there. So for me personally, I've not really had bad challenges. I've had situations maybe when there's if you have to have a show, maybe there's like 5 guys before they even consider like, oh yeah, we want a female. So that's probably one of the things that you face. You're
not far from the truth. Because I remember the last time I produced the Mother's Day comedy show.
Oh yeah.
A Mother's Day comedy show. I did not have a female on my lineup. So it was like a couple of weeks before the show. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're doing a Mother's Day show on a Mother's Day for mothers and others.
And there's no female.
And there's no female. So I have to real quick call the female to be on it. That does not mean that, female artists are being looked down upon, but I don't know what do you think.
I'm not sure what it is. I think personally, it's just like in most things, to be honest, not just with music or comedy. There's a lot of things that men usually tend to do because it started with the tradition of the man has to provide first. I think that's what started it. But now, you know, the modern world, like women are doing things just as much. But maybe it's the case that there were already men in the market before. So now it's just a case of the women trying to come through and break through. Like, you know, we can do just as great. So a lot of women are doing their things too now, so I'm happy about that. All
right, so for the young ones that are coming up, young female artists, either comedians or actresses or musicians, or what advice will you have to give to them? You know, just to be able to break
that. You have to do it. You have to start somewhere. I know people get scared. Oh, I don't know. Am I good? And I usually tell people, don't ask your family first. Because your family, if they love you, they'll say you're good. And you might not be that good in that certain area. But don't.
Same thing in comedy. All right? As a comedian, when you write jokes, don't ask your friends or ask your sister. I mean, you can ask them they'll say no, your family. They say, oh, it's funny. And you go to the stage. Oh, God. If I ask your enemies who don't like you, say, my brother, how far is it?
I think be real, reach out to people and then figure out what it is that you like to do. And if, for instance, if you like doing music and you're like, oh, I don't know how to sing, well, maybe you know how to write. Or maybe you like beats and you can produce. So I think start from somewhere, find people that you emulate and don't give up. It's going to be hard, but you have to try. You have to do it. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you get yourself motivated?
To me, I get motivated through life. When, to be honest, I know it's gonna sound really cliche, but when I'm going through like the darkest moment, when I say dark, not like, you know, like I'm about to, no, like just like moments where I'm thinking, I'm trying to analyze, those things motivate me. And I'm, you know, I come from a home where I grew up with God, so I like to pray. And I used to be very closed up where I wouldn't talk about certain things, but now I've realized I have very few close people in my life. So I speak to them about things that I'm going through, and when I get their answers or situations, those things like motivate me to keep going. And when I see little bits of success, that motivates you because you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting that. I can keep going.
Okay.
So, and I know what the end goal is. I see the end goal, so I have to just keep going, and that's kind of what.
So that's your goal.
I already see the end
goal. So your goal that you set ahead of you kind of motivates you.
Yes.
To achieve it.
Because I haven't reached it
yet.
Which is
good. Yeah. Which is good. All right. So I'm going to ask you a question right now. Since you're in the music industry.
Yeah.
Between Tupac and Biggie, what do you think? What do you think was a bigger legend to you?
But that's not even a hard question for me because I grew up listening to Tupac. I like Tupac, so it's not that one was better than the other. It's just that I felt more connected.
Yeah, the one you feel. Yeah. Okay.
Biggie. I mean, he has some cool songs, but I really connected to Tupac.
All right, first time on stage.
You're gonna ask me like Sonia Day and
Nah, you know Sonia Day.
Obey.
Do you know Obey? You left Nigeria at the age of 9.
Our parents, I think we had an Obey record or something.
Oh, you have to. And every Nigerian home, most Nigerian homes, just from the Yoruba, you have to have Obey and the Beninza. Just from the Igbo side, you have to have what do you call it, Osita Osadebe and all of that, you know. And someone like me from the Niger Delta area, we have, you know, the Victor Whiteford and the rest. So, and I actually grew up in country music. I don't know how my dad.
You told me that.
I told you. I grew up in country music.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my dad. I don't know. Grew up in country music and calypso and makossa. My dad seems to like makossa and calypso, but mostly country music. The cool evening, you know, African parents when they're back.
I think country music is like very soulful.
Yeah. So the cool evening when he's relaxing, you know, when he's drinking his palm wine.
Oh, yeah. That's what you can ask him for anything.
Yeah, you have to be very calculative if you have to ask your African father for something. Among all of us in the house, I'm the one who know the trick. My younger brother will always go and ask my dad when he's just coming back from somewhere. That's the wrong time to ask him. Or you ask him when he's about to eat. Don't.
Let him finish that food.
Don't. Yeah. But for me, I will wait. They will come and ask when he's just coming in.
Yeah.
No, we'll talk about it later. Can catch you some, just come back in. Huh? Don't have respect. Then when he's eating, me and my younger one will go say, Dad, can't you see I'm eating? Let me finish eating. But for me, I will just wait for him to finish eating.
Yeah.
As soon as I see my dad do something like this.
Like relaxing.
Yes. And I put his toothpick in his mouth. I say, yes. You don't enter. I'll just say, Dad, have fun now. Say you.
I think that works with women to men too.
Right. Exactly. You want to ask for money?
No, it doesn't have to be money. You have to know when to like get it right.
Exactly. So I mean, timing is right.
Yeah,
timing is very right. Okay. All right. What was your first time on a professional stage, and how was it? How was your experience?
Like to be honest, I had my first time on a professional stage was in a choir group setting that was in Nigeria. I was really young there. We had a choir thing, but for me personally, would be in Los Angeles during our graduation. I performed at the theatre at the graduation. It had like 1,500 people. Stanley Clarke was there, and it was amazing. And you know, I was with my band there in LA, and that was like my first, I would say, proper like meet my MYOA doing her thing. Yeah.
Right. And how was it?
It was amazing.
Yeah, because you know, I was
doing original.
Remember when I played your song in the Assembly Grand in school?
Oh my God. Wow, but it's taken a while because before that big stage, I've been doing small little cafes in Los Angeles, but that was like a big
first professional one
stage with lights,
and I'm sure you killed it.
people.
I'm sure you killed it.
Apparently we did. Yeah.
Okay.